Hi guys, it's Angelique. Come to my coaching corner and take a closer look.
Tennis fans, welcome back. You're getting a live look at the world #1, Angelique Kerber, her practice session here. It's another edition of my coaching corner here at the BNP Paribas WTA Finals, Singapore. You can see her right there on court with Coach Torben Belts. She's hitting with countrywoman Julia Gerges, and welcome back, everyone. Happy to have you, and today I'm joined by a familiar face on the WTA, Mr. Wim Fissette, here as an SAP Coach Ambassador. Tell me a little bit about that role here for you, Wim.
Yeah, it's correct. It's a little bit of a different role. Not as a coach. I'm wearing I'm wearing a shirt these
You're
days.
looking fancy today.
Yeah, thank you. So my goal is actually here to coach the coaches. We have since this year the SAP technology, which gives us like all the stats we need from matches to analyze opponents, to analyze our own player, and it's a great system. And unfortunately, not all the coaches are aware of the system and don't know how to use the system the right way. So that's why I'm here, and yeah, it's a great job.
Great, you're their guy if they need to know. And Torben Belts is actually someone that's used that tablet a lot, but getting all sorts of stats and insights from SAP, knowing what the players need to do out there on the court. Obviously, they take what they do in practice and try to apply it to matches as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. I think it was actually quite funny this year because when I was working with Azarenka this year, we played Kerber in the final in Brisbane, and
Yes.
I must say, they learned a lot from that match. I think Torben must have looked at the stats, but she had a different approach during the Australian Open, and unfortunately Kerber beat Azarenka there. But of course, we looked at those stats and we beat her again in Miami. So,
So they can be helpful, of course, right?
Yeah. We keep learning from the stats.
Yeah. Well, Wim Fissette, of course, former coach of Kim Clijsters, Sabina Lisicki, Simona Halep, and Victoria Azarenka. We're getting a live look here at our current world #1 with her coach, Torben Belts. Now, I want your opinion, Wim. What has Torben brought back to Angie? Because they separated for a while, but now they're back together just over a year and a half after coming together in the spring of 2015, and he's helped her find, obviously, that next level. She's a Grand Slam champion and a world #1.
Mm-hmm. I think, first of all, in her game, her serve has improved. Yeah, so that was for her very important. So I guess they have been working on her serve. But secondly, more important, she is very confident with him, and yeah, you see, like she's very calm on the court these days. She believes no matter what happens, she will find a solution to beat to win the match, and I think with his positive approach and his belief in his player. Yeah, it's a great combination, those two.
So Angelique 2-0 so far in group play with wins over Sabokova, and then last night a very convincing win against Simona Halep. She plays tomorrow night against Madison Keys, 5-1 head-to-head. But what do you do here at this point in the tournament? You've got 2 wins under your belt. She needs to have a good performance. We'll see how it shakes out with the other match in her group, but she wants to probably go out and win that third match to go 3-0 in the semis, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're not used, of course, to play tournaments like this where you're able to lose a match but still can win a tournament. So you don't want to go down in your performance. You want to keep performing at your highest level and keep playing the best tennis you can to stay on that level during the tournament. So I guess she's just gonna. Doesn't matter what the score will be in the first match. She will go out there and try to play the tennis she has been playing the whole year.
We're getting a great look here at Angie and probably one of her most lethal weapons, the return of serve. Julia Gerges putting in some bombs for Angie to work off of, and I would assume too that obviously Julia and her are good friends, but to play a big hitter like Gerges before she takes on Keys, it gets that rhythm versus a Halep, someone that doesn't necessarily have that sort of pace.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great choice to practice with Gergis today, especially to work on her returns, which will be very important tomorrow. Return has always been a big strength of Angelique. Of course, she needed to because she never had like the killer serve. So yeah, her return games. She won a lot of return games. She's one of the best returners of the game, and yeah, I think she will have very good chances to beat Keys tomorrow.
You folks can see that nice look at Kerber with belts just in the background, keeping an eye on his charge. She's putting in the hard yards here at the end of the year. She wants to go out a tournament champion as world number 1. So Wim, tell me, as far as what Angie might work with Torben to make sure that she's ready for someone like Madison, you said a big server like Yulia, what else would she put in as far as from your perspective?
You mean as a practicer?
Yep.
Today? Well, she will. I think Kerber is one of the girls. When I also look at her stats, she's actually not very much changing her game. So she goes in with most of the matches with her own strength. She knows the way she has to play. She plays it more or less every match a little bit the same, but it's that good, and she's just very tough to beat. So I'm not sure she's gonna do many specific things. I think she's gonna do a lot of returns and play a lot of like short points, just like serve and maybe 1-2 balls and return maybe 1-2 balls, just like short rallies. And yeah, important to keep that rhythm during those short rallies.
Now I want to ask you, in 2010, you were working with Kim Kleisters, still at the WTA finals. Were you guys together?
Yes.
So she had just come off the U.S. Open title, and she was, I think, the player to beat there. She won 2 of her round robins, lost the 3rd. So then, say Angie does record a loss against Madison, how then do you right the ship and make sure that she's there with confidence and comes through? I think she wants to win this tournament, I would assume.
I guess so. I think when I remember well with Kim, she had a preference who to play in the semis, and the other group was already decided, and she had a preference. So, I mean, I don't know if it was the right decision, but she won the tournament, so it must have been the right decision there to maybe not lose the match, but like
Yeah.
no.
Well, that's part of this tournament too, right?
Yeah,
It's different.
Yeah, it is. I remember in 2014 when I was here with Simona, she
Yes.
could have
Yes.
lost in 2 sets against Anna, and then Serena would have been out of the tournament. But she decided to fight for every point, and yeah, of course, very fair play. But maybe it was not exactly the right decision, so it's up to her. It's a personal decision. Kerber, I don't think, even if she would lose, that would touch her confidence. I mean, what she has performed like this year, her results are amazing. Like that will not touch, like a bad result will not touch her confidence.
I see.
And she will be ready for the semifinal for sure.
Well, she certainly looked semifinal ready last night against Simona Halep, and we'll see what else she can produce here in Singapore. Wim, thank you so much for joining us on My Coaching Corner.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, folks, you can find us all week long right here at the BNP Paribas WTA Finals Singapore, presented by SC Global. And in just a couple hours, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. She's going to give us another exclusive look in at a practice. For now, goodbye and see you soon.